Let's start the interview now. Tell me about yourself in detail.
My name is Min Soo, and I'm in my early 30s. I work for a large trading company in Korea, and I've been in this field for several years now. I mainly handle overseas sales and communicate with clients from different countries. I really enjoy my job because it gives me the chance to work in a fast-paced and global environment. I deal with everything from negotiating contracts to solving problems related to logistics and delivery. In my free time, I enjoy working out and watching short YouTube videos, especially those related to sports or interesting experiments like hydraulic press videos. I think these hobbies help me relax and refresh after a long day at work. I'm currently preparing for the OPIC exam because I want to improve my English speaking skills and possibly take on more international projects at work. That's a little bit about me.
When you spend your vacation at home, who usually visits you? What do you do together? Provide as many details as possible.
When I spend my vacation at home, my close friends often come over to visit me. Since we all have busy jobs, it's not easy to meet regularly, so vacation is the perfect time to catch up. Usually, we order some food like Korean fried chicken or pizza and watch movies or sports games together. Sometimes we play board games or just talk for hours over a few drinks. One time, we even had a small home party where everyone brought their favorite snacks and drinks. It was really fun and helped me relieve stress. Spending time at home with friends during vacation feels relaxing and meaningful. I don't have to worry about traveling or making big plans. I can just enjoy simple things with people I care about. I think that's the best way to recharge.
In your background survey, you indicated that you prefer to stay at home during vacations. How do you spend your vacations at home? What do you usually do? Give me as many details as possible.
Yes, that's right. I usually prefer to stay at home during vacations because I feel the most relaxed in my own space. Since my job is quite demanding and involves a lot of communication with overseas clients, I often feel mentally drained. So, I use my vacation time to fully recharge at home. Most of the time, I sleep in a little and start my day slowly. I enjoy cooking simple meals, like Korean-style pasta or grilled meat, and I often try out new recipes I find on YouTube. I also love watching short videos or binge-watching Netflix shows. Recently, I watched a documentary series about global trade, which was actually quite related to my job and very interesting. Besides that, I like to do light workouts at home using dumbbells or resistance bands. It helps me stay healthy without going to the gym. In the evenings, I sometimes call my friends or family and catch up on things we missed during busy weeks. Overall, spending vacation at home gives me peace of mind. I can take care of myself, enjoy my hobbies, and prepare for work with a clear head.
Specifically discuss the things that you did while on the last vacation that you spent at home. Give me a detailed description of what you did from the beginning to the end of the day, of all the activities you participated in, and all of the people you saw that day.
Sure, I'd be happy to share what I did during my last vacation at home. It was a Saturday, and I decided to have a relaxing day to recover from a busy week at work. I woke up around 9 a.m., which is late for me, and started my day with a slow breakfast. I made some toast, eggs, and a cup of coffee. After that, I spent some time watching short videos on YouTube, mostly fitness content and a few hydraulic press clips, which I find really satisfying. Around noon, I called one of my close friends and invited him over. He came by around 1 p.m., and we ordered some Korean fried chicken and watched a soccer game on TV. We're both big fans of football, so we had a great time cheering and talking about the players and strategies. In the afternoon, we played some board games, like Jenga and card games, just for fun. Then we talked for a while about work, life, and future plans. It was a meaningful conversation that reminded me how important it is to stay connected with good friends. After he left in the early evening, I did a light home workout, mostly stretching and using dumbbells. For dinner, I cooked some spicy pork stir-fry and had it with rice. Later that night, I watched a couple of episodes of a Netflix series one was into at the time. I ended the day by reading a few pages of a book and going to bed around midnight. It wasn't a fancy vacation, but it was exactly what I needed: peaceful, comfortable, and refreshing.
Tell me about the banks in your country. What do they typically look like? Where are they usually located?
In Korea, banks are very common and easy to find. They are usually located in busy areas such as downtown, near subway stations, or inside shopping malls. You can also find them in residential neighborhoods, especially near apartment complexes. Most bank buildings are quite modern and clean. They usually have large glass windows, automatic doors, and a clear logo at the entrance. Inside, there are several counters where staff assist customers. And there are also ATMs and digital kiosks for people who want to do things quickly on their own. These days, many banks in Korea are going digital, so people use mobile apps or internet banking more than visiting the bank in person. But for things like opening an account or getting a loan, people still go to a physical branch. Overall, banks in Korea are very convenient and efficient. The service is usually fast, and most staff are very professional and polite.
Banks have definitely changed over time. Tell me about a bank you remember from your childhood. What was the bank like? How was it different from banks today?
Yes, banks have changed a lot since I was a kid. When I was in elementary school, I used to go to the bank with my parents. Back then, banks felt more old-fashioned and less high-tech. The bank I remember had a very quiet and serious atmosphere. Everything was done manually. People had to fill out forms by hand, and most tasks took a long time. There were no self-service machines or digital kiosks like we have today. You had to take a number and wait in a long line just to deposit or withdraw money. Also, the interior looked very different. The walls were usually beige or brown, and the counters had thick glass panels between the customers and the staff. It felt more closed off compared to the open and modern layouts we see now. In contrast, today's banks are much faster and more convenient. Many people use mobile banking apps, so they rarely visit the bank in person. And even when they do, there are machines for simple tasks, and the staff focuses more on consulting or helping with complex issues. So overall, banks have become more digital, customer-friendly, and efficient compared to the ones I knew growing up.
Sometimes, problems arise when dealing with the bank. Tell me in detail about a problem you had that involved your bank. Maybe the bank was closed when you needed it to be open. Maybe the bank made some kind of mistake. Tell me the story of a time when you had to solve a problem involving your bank.
Sure, I had a problem with my bank a few months ago, and it was quite frustrating at the time. I needed to send money to an overseas supplier urgently for work. It was a Friday afternoon, and I went to the bank in person because I needed help with the international wire transfer. When I arrived, the bank was open, but the international transaction desk had already closed for the day. I didn't realize that specific services like wire transfers had earlier cutoff times. I was really stressed because if I missed that day, the money wouldn't be sent until Monday, which could delay the shipment. I immediately called the customer service center. Thankfully, the representative was very helpful. She guided me through how to make the transfer using my company's online banking system. It took some time, but with her help, I was able to complete the transaction just before the final deadline. From that experience, I learned how important it is to know the bank's schedule and to double-check cutoff times for specific services. Now I always make international transfers earlier in the day just to be safe.
You indicated in the survey that you listen to music. What kinds of music do you listen to? Who are some of your favorite musicians or composers?
Yes, I really enjoy listening to music, and I do it almost every day. I usually listen to pop and R&B, but sometimes I also enjoy instrumental or classical music when I need to focus. One of my favorite artists is Paul Kim, a Korean singer known for his emotional ballads. His voice is very soothing, and his lyrics are meaningful, so I often listen to his songs when I'm feeling stressed or need to relax. Another artist I like is Sam Smith. His voice has a unique tone, and I especially enjoy his live performances. When I work out, I usually listen to upbeat pop music to keep my energy high. But when I'm working or studying, I prefer calm background music or lo-fi beats. Music helps me stay focused and improves my mood. Overall, music is a big part of my daily life. It helps me relax, motivates me, and sometimes even helps me sleep better at night.
When did you first become interested in music? What kinds of music did you like first? Tell me how your interest in music developed from your childhood until today.
I think I first became interested in music when I was in elementary school. At that time, I mostly listened to pop songs on the radio or TV music programs. I remember liking cheerful and catchy songs, especially from K-pop groups like G, O, D or early Big Bang. Their songs were fun and easy to sing along with, so I became a fan. In middle and high school, my taste started to change. I began listening to more emotional ballads and R&B songs, especially when I was studying or going through stressful times. Music became a way for me to express emotions and relax. I also started paying more attention to lyrics and the meaning behind the songs. These days, my music taste is more diverse. I still enjoy K-pop and R&B, but I also listen to lo-fi, indie, and sometimes even classical music depending on my mood. I listen to music while commuting, working out, or even falling asleep. It's become a natural part of my daily routine. Looking back, music has always been with me, helping me get through both good and bad times. It's more than just entertainment, it's something that keeps me grounded and inspired.
Could you think back to a particularly memorable time when you heard live music? Describe that experience in detail. When was it? Where were you? Who were you with? Who did you hear? What happened that made that performance so memorable?
Yes, one of the most memorable live music experiences I've ever had was when I went to a Paul Kim concert about 2 years ago. It was held at a concert hall in Seoul, and I went there with one of my close college friends who also loves ballad music. We had been looking forward to the concert for weeks, and when the day finally came, the atmosphere was amazing. The lights dimmed, and as soon as Paul Kim started singing his hit song, Me After You, the entire audience went silent. His voice was even better live, so emotional and powerful. What made it even more special was when he suddenly talked about the story behind the song. He said he wrote it after going through a breakup, and he wanted to comfort people going through the same thing. That moment felt really personal, and I could feel the emotion in the room. After the concert, my friend and I couldn't stop talking about how touching it was. It was more than just music, it felt like a shared emotional experience. That's why that live performance still stands out in my memory.
11. I'd like to give you a situation and ask you to act it out. You are going to meet your friend living overseas. Call your friend and ask 2 or 3 questions about geography. I'm sorry, but there is a problem which I need you to resolve. You are unable to meet your friend who is living in another country. Call your friend and give 3 or 4 alternatives to address the problem.
Hi, it's me. I have something to tell you, and I feel really bad about it. I was planning to visit you next month, but unfortunately, something came up at work and I won't be able to travel. I'm really sorry about this. But I've thought of a few ways we can still keep in touch and enjoy time together, even if it's online. First, we can schedule a long video call this weekend. Maybe we can cook and eat together virtually just like a remote dinner. Second, I can send you a care package with some Korean snacks or souvenirs. I thought it might be a fun surprise. Third, we can play some online games or even watch a movie together using a video sharing platform like Netflix Party or Disney. And finally, once things settle down, we can plan a longer trip together. Maybe I can visit you for a week during the holidays. I know it's not the same as meeting in person, but I hope these ideas help us stay connected. Let's talk more soon and make some new plans.
That's the end of the situation. Can you describe for me one of the countries or cities you visited? What does it look like? And what are the people like there?
Sure. One of the most memorable places I've visited is Osaka, Japan. I went there a few years ago on a short trip, and I absolutely loved it. Osaka is a very lively and colorful city. The streets are filled with bright neon signs, unique shops, and lots of amazing food. I especially remember Dotonbor. It's a famous area with big billboards, like the Glico Running Man, and tons of street food like takoyaki and okonomiyaki. At night, the whole area lights up and feels like a giant theme park. The people there were very kind and polite. Even though I didn't speak much Japanese, they tried to help me with directions and recommended places to visit. I felt really welcomed and safe throughout the trip. Overall, Osaka has a nice balance of traditional culture and modern energy. I'd love to go back someday and explore even more of Japan.
These days, camping is very popular. What are the recent gears? What are their special features?
Yes, these days camping has become a very popular activity, especially among young people and families. Because of this trend, many new and innovative camping gears have been released. One of the most interesting new items is a wearable sleeping bag called Selka bag. It's different from regular sleeping bags because you can actually wear it like a jacket and pants. You can walk around your campsite while staying warm, and it's also made from 100% recycled materials, so it's eco-friendly. Another cool item is the Oyster Tempo aluminum cooler. Unlike typical plastic coolers, this one is made of aluminum, which makes it lighter and more durable. It keeps food and drinks cold for a longer time, and it's fully recyclable, which is great for the environment. Overall, today's camping gear is not only more convenient and comfortable, but also more eco-conscious. I think it's really exciting to see how camping is evolving with new technology and smart designs.
A lot of people are worried that the camping site might have some environmental issues. Among campers, what do you say about this issue?
Yes, this is a big issue that many campers talk about these days. As camping becomes more popular, there are growing concerns about environmental damage, such as trash, noise, and damage to nature. Among campers, many people agree that we need to be more responsible. Some groups promote the idea of leave no trace, which means you should clean up everything before you leave, and try not to harm the natural environment in any way. This idea is becoming more common, especially among younger campers. Also, a lot of people are switching to eco-friendly camping gear, like reusable dishes, solar-powered lights, and biodegradable products. Many camping sites also have rules to protect the area, such as limiting campfires or restricting certain zones. Personally, I think it's very important for all of us to be aware of our impact on nature. We enjoy camping because of the beautiful outdoors, so we need to protect it for the future. If everyone does their part, we can enjoy nature without destroying it.